Okay, we've learned the modes. Now maybe it's time to take a break, congratulate ourselves, and just relax a little bit. No, you've celebrated prematurely. Learning the modes is only half the battle. We still need to know how to put them together and how to play modally. So right now we're going to do a couple exercises that'll help us take what we've learned and connect them together as shapes. Okay? So I want to focus on the first octave of 3 different modes and show you how they stack on top of each other. So we're going to start with G Mixolydian, right? And if you remember the shape, it's middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky. Okay? So we're going to stack that right on top of A minor, Aeolian, index, ring, pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, ring. And we're going to stack that right on top of C major, C Ionian. Middle, pinky, index, index, ring, pinky. So you can practice all these like at once, like just through like. Which is great, and that's a great way to kind of really get that hand shape ingrained in your muscle memory, but it's not the most musical way to do it. So we're gonna start linking these shapes together and playing through the shapes, okay? So we're gonna start, again, in G Mixolydian, and at the end of it, we're gonna slide into A minor, okay? So, right at first, we're just gonna play through the scale, 1 octave, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, slide into the end of A minor, right? So there's the end. Now, whichever finger you use for this is not too important because I want you to see this in your mind's eye as you're transitioning through shapes. So again, here's that first one, climbing through the scale into minor and then coming back out of it, right? Now you can make a circular pattern here. What I mean by that is if you just go up and through and then backwards through A and then back to G, right? Now again, that's not the most musical way to do anything, but you're really training your hands on the intervals, the distances between these shapes, okay? Now what I think is even more valuable, once you can kind of see that in your mind's eye, is to skip an entire shape, maybe even 2 shapes. So we're gonna take G Mixolydian, and we're gonna slide all the way into C major. So we're gonna do the same thing, where we slide into the 8th note of it from the 8th note of G, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that 8th note in C is right here on the 10th fret of the D string, so we're maintaining the integrity of our hand position. Now the most important thing, as long as you realize where you are, so up through G, backwards through C. And then if you want to, you can stop in A minor on the way back to G, right? So it's all about just making little adjustments through these scale shapes, okay? And again, now we can start making it a little more musical by maybe not just playing in order all the way up. Let's kind of make a little bit of a riff. And the thing that helps me out a lot is taking a central point to expand and come back to. So let me demonstrate that. Let's take something in A minor. All right, let's make a little riff out of that. Let's go. Okay, so I'm kind of sliding into the 5th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 7A, into the 5th fret on the D string, into the 8th note in A minor, right? Into the 3rd note of A minor, into the 1st note, right? So number-wise it'd be 5, 7, 8, 3, 1. Now, I'm really gonna solidify that in my mind, that I can get there from anywhere. I don't have to have the hand shape to tell me where that is. I'm just hitting that spot and knowing I'm in A minor, right? So let's keep that in our mind, but still go to G Mixolydian, right? So I'm gonna make a little riff in G, and it can be anything. Like let's just take the top of the shape. Back into G. And notice how I'm kind of jumping in one shape, going back to what I'm kind of considering my home base in the A minor shape. And I'm able to get there no matter where my fingers are because I'm seeing this shape in my mind's eye. And really just be creative with this. There's no way, if you're hitting the right notes, there's no way you can make this sound bad as long as you're getting your shapes right. So you can swing stuff, you can kind of make chords out of it, like I can make a G power chord into that regular G, the 1 and the 3. I can jump into C. Again, and see what I did there. So right there, that's 5 to 6, 5 to 4. So I'm kind of taking parts of a scale, riffing them. I guess it's like a solo, really, if you want to think of it that way. And I'm making a home base to always go to so I never get too lost. Even if I'm experimenting, maybe I'm not totally sure. Maybe I want to work in another shape. I want to work in D Dorian, which again is minor with a sharp 6. Maybe I want to get to that sharp 6 down here, right? I can do the same thing. And really just take one riff that you come up with. It could be that one. It could be some like a really well-known one from a song. They're all hidden in these shapes. And learn to jump into a different mode shape and then get back to your bass. Now, another really good one that is more of a drill, more of an exercise, but is really, really helpful in distinguishing the differences between these shapes is taking one root note and playing all the modes on that one note. We're just gonna go one octave through, right? So I'm gonna start on an A. Now, remember, the first mode is major. So the major scale, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky. Right, so there's, as we kind of talked about before, there's 3 major class modes where I'm rooting my middle finger and then altering that. Remember, so the first mode is the major scale. The 4th mode is the major scale with a 1, 2, 3, sharp 4. And the 5th mode is the major scale with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, right? So maybe playing all those major modes in a row. And this kind of thing is gonna help when we start to play modally in the next video. So if you wanna do all the major scale, or all the major class modes in a row, would be major, Lydian, and Mixolydian. And we do the same thing for the minor ones, but what we're gonna do now is play all 7 modes rooted on an A, 1 octave through in order, okay? So we're all gonna relate these to either the major scale or the minor scale. So the first one is a straight up major scale in A. The notes don't even matter, just the hand position matters, right? You can go forward and backwards if you want, but really just to get it in your mind, let's do the major scale first, then the second mode, which is Dorian. So now I'm rooting with my pointer finger, which is the minor scale with the sharp 6, and the third mode, which is Phrygian, which is minor scale with a flat 2, right? The 4th mode, Lydian, major scale sharp 4. The 5th mode, Mixolydian, major scale flat 7. The 6th mode is the minor scale. And the 7th mode is Locrian, which has the flat 2 and the flat 5. So again, all 7 in a row on one root note. Major, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, minor, Locrian, back to major. So it's a good challenge to kind of see how fast you can do it. You don't have to shred it. Do it as slow as you want to. Speed is not important at all right here. We're just training your mind to see these shapes behind a root note. So yeah, it's a really great challenge to just kind of see how you can do it at any speed where you can play it in a steady tempo. I don't want you to do this like major, Dorian, Phrygian, right? That's not really training your rhythm at the same time. I want you to be able to try to think in real time, no matter how long that takes, to be able to play all 7 of them individually off of one root note. And this isn't necessarily gonna help you in staying in one key, because this is gonna be a bunch of different keys. That's not important. It's really just taking that shape and burning it into your memory.